Hello. I was trying to pop my damn tongue. Let me try to. Okay. Hello, children. Welcome back to the show. You know, when you hear a song like Azealia Banks, that was, of course, tailor-made for the gays. You got to pop a tongue or pop a fan. My fan is in the other room, so I should have brought it out while that song was playing. But anyway, let's get back to the tea at hand. I want to give congratulations to Rupaul because he has booked yet another show, this time on Netflix. So he's teaming up with former Sex and the City showrunner Michael Patrick King for a brand new comedy that's heading to Netflix. Written by Rupaul and King, the series stars Rupaul as Ruby Red. I thought he was going to say Ruby Rod from, damn, what the hell is that movie? The Fifth Element. Floston's Paradise. So the bigger than life, but down on her luck drag queen. Well, he'll be playing a bigger than life, but down on her luck drag queen who travels across America from club to club in a rundown 1990s RV with an unlikely sidekick AJ, a recently orphaned, tough-talking, scrappy 11-year-old stowaway. As these two misfits, one tall, one small, travel from city to city, Ruby's message of love and acceptance winds up touching people and changing their lives for the better. Rupaul performs a killer musical number in every drag club. So it kind of makes you wonder, like, with this being what it is, because he's managed to turn his drag thing into something else beyond that, it makes me wonder, like, is this going to be new music that he's going to be promoting? Because, Rupaul has a hand of, he knows how to take original music and incorporate it into what he's doing. Hence, like RuPaul's Drag Race. He's always released albums that have kind of fit in within the aesthetic of the show. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if he's going to do the same thing with this show, creating new music for this. He and Patrick King will executive produce, and King's MPK Productions produces in association with Warner Brothers TV. And also, here's another show that he's going to be doing as well, which is, what was it? There was a show that he's supposed to be doing. Damn it, I forgot the name of it. Oh, it's supposed to be on Hulu. He's supposed to be working on a show on Hulu with J.J. Abrams. It came to me just now. So he's definitely booked between the two scripted shows that he's working on, which is basically going to be about his life. I don't know if he's going to be on that show, but he's probably going to, of course, hire somebody that was kind of like about his early club scene days. So he's going to be getting a check from that. He's going to be doing the show, the acting thing on Netflix, which I'm really looking forward to, because Netflix is definitely the place to go where it comes to like really good shows, because network TV has kind of been pissing me off this week with the amount of the laundry list of shows that started coming out that I heard they were canceling. Like, I heard they canceled Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I was upset about that. But then I heard this morning that NBC went and picked it up. So the show was not canceled. It was canceled by Fox, but NBC wound up picking up the show. So it's going to premiere this fall on NBC with 13 episodes. So that show was saved. I know a lot of people are trying to pick up other shows and trying to see where they're trying to get things to go. So, wait, what? You said you can't see me? Well, it's not intentional. I don't know, those of you who are watching, can you see me? Can you see me on camera? I need a yes or or whatever it is, because I'm here, like, I've heard other people say that to me too, that it's like, oh, I can't see you. Oh no, Charles, you better stop. Okay, I'm about to throw fuck it. I'm gonna just leave them goddamn Boost Mobile Metro PCS shits alone. I love you though, Sharina. Just jokes. Y'all know how I do. But in other news, shout out to my girl Janet Jackson, who will be honored with a coveted Icon Award at the 2018 Billboard Music Awards. The 51-year-old singer-songwriter will receive the honor at the MGM Grand Garden Arena on May 20th. That's next Sunday. Dick Clark Productions and Studio NBC announced in a statement, after getting the honor, Jackson will also deliver a highly anticipated performance, which will be her first television performance in 9 years. You know what this reminds me of? Remember back in the day when she got the Icon Award at the MTV VMAs, and she got up there and started performing? So, hi, Yuri, how you doing? Wait, can anybody see me on it? Because Sharina and her Boost mobile phone says she can't see me. So I need somebody to I need some of y'all to tell me that if you could see me on Facebook Live or not. Yeah, so basically, yeah, it's been 9 years, because, the last time she performed was when, you know, she got on stage and the Saltine ripped off and exposed her damn titty. And she pretty much got fined by everybody under the sun. But that old asshole, that dry-looking motherfucker, you know, Justin Timberlake, who's like, what, 32 but looks 82, basically bit threw her ass under the bus, and his career went to flourish while she went off and was treated like, you know, like a typical black woman, less than, like, the last most thing you pay attention to. So I need Mother to get up there and slay with that hair and that svelte body and all the other stuff. So I'm really looking for, like, look, I'll even admit, I was not going to watch the Billboard Awards because I feel like every year they've always focused on mediocre performers like Wait, did I say you had a Metro? Because, you know, I said Boost Mobile. You know, I'm joking. But if you have the Metro PCS phone, I apologize on account of all phone providers. Okay, let me stop. Okay, so I feel like over the years, like, there's been so many award shows between we had the Billboard Awards and the American Music. American Music was a god awful. I can't sit through that show anymore. Even though, like, that's the type of show that I feel like I have to record on my DVR and just fast forward through the majority of it because it's just not a good show. Like, I'm so uninspired by it. But I'm so far, like, the Billboard Awards is really going to be giving me my life this year. Like, we got Jennifer Lopez possibly performing her new song, Dinero, which I hope Cardi B's not going to get up there and perform because, girl, you are just too damn big. You, I know you're talking about you're tired and all this stuff, so please don't put her up there. Like, have her record something behind like, with a green screen behind her and, like, show her rhyme and stuff, and then have DJ Khaled fat ass, you know, roll himself around the stage, you know, like the butterball he is, and then J-Lo just give me spectacle and hair and choreography and, you know, all of that stuff. But don't make Cardi B get up there and perform because, you know what, she's pregnant, I know her feet is hurting and all this stuff, but don't make her get up there and do anymore because y'all want to see, because people want to see Cardi B on stage. Don't do that to these, because a lot of y'all be doing that with these artists. Y'all want to cart them out there like they freaking animals and shit, like, bring the dog out for the pony show. So let's not do that. But there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be performing, so that's what got me really into wanting to care about this year. So, Kelly Clarkson's hosting. Camila Cabello's performing. Dua Lipa, Shawn Mendes, bored already. Ariana Grande is performing, but I heard that she's opening. Probably going to be bored with her too. Yeah, it's just like so many of these people out here. Y'all are just so basic. But I'll watch anyway, and I'll live tweet and throw my shade like I always do. But I say it with love. So yeah, let's move on from that. Okay, so congratulations to Kandi Burruss, who has now gotten yet another check. She is set to produce according to the Jasmine brand, shout out to them. She's creating a new series called Hotlanta, which is basically going to be like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is going to follow the lives of people in Atlanta. Same shit that we see on Roa, as I call it. And now the person who's going to be on that show is Barlow Hampton. So it kind of makes me wonder, if she's going to be doing this show, then that means she's not going to be over on the Real Housewives of Atlanta anymore. And why should she? She's about, well, unless, you know, WeTV, the ratings are bad and they decide to cancel it. But I feel like, you know what, the way Marlo's shady ass is, she will definitely bring the drama on that show. So I'm looking forward to seeing Hotlanta. It'll be interesting to see who else she adds to the cast. But you know what I've always wondered? Why don't we have shows like The Real Housewives of Atlanta, that sort of thing, for the gay community? Why don't we have like gay, like, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing more entertaining than watching a bunch of shady queens on my TV screen. Because at this point, it's like they have nothing else to lose when they're on television doing all kinds of stunts and shows and throwing out an occasional shady read. So I don't understand why it's an issue. Like, we don't have that. We don't have networks trying to really push that. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to put on my production cap and start bringing to life these shows. I got a couple of ideas. So we'll see in the next year or two. I'll start working on that. Okay, let's get into this whole drama about Tidal. So Tidal's come under fire for apparently creating fake streams for Beyonce and Kanye Kardashian records. So a new investigative report by a Norwegian newspaper, I'm not even going to try to pronounce what the fuck the name of this newspaper is because I don't speak their language. So I'm just going to say Norwegian newspaper, and we're going to keep it as that. They're alleging that Tidal falsely inflated the streaming numbers of Kanye Kardashian's The Life of Pablo, clearly, because that album was atrocious, and Beyonce's Lemonade, an album I actually loved, by over 300 million total plays. The premium streaming service, which is owned by Beyonce's husband and Kanye's frequent collaborator Jay-Z, is accused of generating massive royalty payouts for the two superstars at the expense of other artists. You know, that's some damn shit. And here Kanye was on Charlemagne talking about money he was owed for touring and all this other stuff. But I'm like, here Jay-Z was pulling stunts and shows for you and for his wife to get paid. Which in a kind of way, isn't that kind of criminal? I don't know what the whole situation will happen. Like, can you go to jail for some shit like that? But I'll just keep reading. After the release of The Life of Pablo in February 2016, Tidal claimed that the album was streamed 250 million times by its users in the first 10 days that it was available. First of all, I don't know how it was streamed that many goddamn times. Tidal don't even have that many damn people subscribed to them. So even I would have known that was a damn lie. And then it was available like a week later on social media, so anybody could have illegally downloaded it. Or anybody who actually subscribes to Tidal, I've noticed, will take the album, rip it, and put it up on social media, and people illegally download. That's how I got it. At the same time, the streaming service was claiming 3 million subscribers, figures that average out to every single subscriber listening to the album 8 times a day for 10 days straight. Similarly, Tidal claimed that subscribers streamed Lemonade 306 million times in its first 15 days of availability when it was released that April. Several music industry observers noted the apparent discrepancies at the time. Also, they were saying that, you know what, back in the day, Jay-Z was doing this when he was signed to Rockefeller. So, when it comes to being into computers, there are ways you can cook them books and basically make something look bigger than what it is. People have been doing this for a while now and scamming people into believing what something is. That's why you hear all these kids are, well, if you look at Nicki Minaj or this artist or that artist, they sold this many. How the fuck you know? You going based off of streams. Now, if we was going into the old school aesthetic, which was about sales versus streams, you'd see the fakery and the bullshit within all of that. But now they're trying to incorporate streams into the argument because that's what people are feeling like they're counting now. But I don't know. This is all like a whole bunch of data jargon that I know it's hard to like kind of break down and explain and stuff. And I honestly get bored with talking about numbers and all that other shit. But it just goes to show that, you know what, it's just sad when, you know, you got to resort to stunts and shows just to get people to pay attention to your music or whatever the case is. And for Jay-Z to sit there and do this to his wife and Kanye, and, you know, it's just ridiculous. It's just sad and pathetic and embarrassing. And now I got to look at y'all some kind of way, because then the next time you put out a record, I'm be looking at y'all with the side eye. Well, Kanye Kardashian is coming out with an album next month, isn't he? So, we'll definitely be paying attention and keeping a side eye wide open on that one. So, let's talk about American Idol. A show that I don't understand why it's on the air, but here it is, and it's been greenlit for a second season. I blame all you assholes who watched it for getting that show to come around again. Or maybe the fact that the ratings were so low that ABC has continued to decide they want to invest in the show is why it's still on. And probably it's because it's cheaper to produce. But anyway, so Clay Aiken is throwing a lot of shade at this year's contestants. So the out singer and failed congressional candidate slammed ABC's revamped version of the show as being too nice to competitors, calling it a vacation Bible school talent show instead of a cutthroat reality competition. In a Huffington Post op-ed, he said drag performance Ada Vox, who made it to the top 10, wasn't the best singer, period. You know what, no shade on this, but I don't think she was the best singer either. Like, I felt like she was sharp and pitchy in a lot of areas. Even though I didn't watch the show, I did see clips online. I listened to her, and I'm like, no. And one of those songs I remember she did was, what was the name of the song? That she did. It was based. I don't remember the name of the damn song. It doesn't come to me right now. But anyway, He said, someone needs to be real here. Ada Vox wasn't voted off because she is a drag queen, and she wasn't voted off because Adam Sanders, her alter ego, is a gay man. She was voted off because she was not the best voice on the show. This is a competition in singing, and Vox, entertaining performer, though she doubtless is not the best singer. Well, there was a lot of not best singers that have been existing on American Idol for over the how many years that it was on, and they've skated by, and this has just been a thing. It's always been like that. It's never been about the singing, for the most part. It's always been, in most reality shows, a popularity contest. And where I feel like I do get what he's saying, that I feel like I don't understand, like, when I watch a lot of these critics or these people who watch American Idol or interview people from the show, and they talk about, well, are you the mean judge? Or are you going to be mean? And it's like, it's not mean. I think people need to understand the difference between mean and honesty and finding that balance. It's kind of the same question they asked J-Lo a couple of, recently, when she was promoting World of Dance that's going to be coming on soon. And they asked her, it was like, are you going to be mean? And she's like, no, I'm being honest. And I feel like as a judge, you have to give constructive criticism to people. If you're not the best, if that wasn't your best performance, you have to let the person why it wasn't the best performance and what they can do to improve on that. Now, if the audience wants to sit and boo, fuck them. What the hell do the audience know about real singing and vocal talent and music and having an ear for that shit? First of all, I have an ear for music because I won't say I was trained on it, but when I grew up, one of the things I've always gravitated towards was music school. The music course in my elementary school, because I went to a school for gifted and talented kids in Brooklyn. So one of the things I basically gravitated towards, while everybody was playing the violin and this, that, and the other, is I learned about the piano. And how I learned how to play the piano was by ear. I could not read sheet music to save my life. Still can't to this day. But if I hear something, I can play it back. And that's kind of always been my talent. Or it's like having an ear for melodies and sounds and this, that, and the third. I've always had a talent for having an ear for if something sounds good or if it doesn't. And I think, like, when you go and talk about boo and this and the other, like, you don't want to crush someone's dreams. But if you sound like William Hung when you open your mouth, then I don't think you should be trying to, pursue a career in music. Unless you plan on giving head to auto-tune for the rest of your career. If you plan on doing that, then by all means. But I didn't feel like what Clay Aiken said was being hateful. I just feel like maybe he was hate watching the show, and he doesn't like where the show was going. But you can't sit and be on a show and talk about you like something, knowing full on damn well you didn't like it, only because you don't want to be roasted on social media. And that's what I'm noticing a lot of the rub of what's going on now. A lot of these people are so scared. I even seen on RuPaul's Drag Race a bunch of shows. No one wants to really give their opinion on stuff because they don't want to feel the wrath of Twitter and people flooding their pages or their Instagrams or whatever with snake emojis or whatever the case is. So people are really afraid nowadays to give their authentic opinion about stuff. Now, there's a difference when you want to be shady or you want to bully, you want to be nasty for the sake of being fucking nasty, like a Donald Trump per se, or the people that support him. That's a whole nother story where he deserves to be roasted. But if you're giving your constructive criticism about something and you're mad because someone's criticizing someone you like, I don't understand the name calling or flooding someone's page with bullying content because they don't agree with your opinion about something. It's like, who gives a fuck? We all shouldn't sit and have to agree with everything everybody says about stuff. It's ridiculous when people think that you should sit and like everything someone says. I don't agree with everything somebody says about shit, and I don't expect people to agree with everything I say. And it's perfectly fine. But we should be able to debate it without having to be shady and hateful. Okay, so let's get into the story about Rihanna. Apparently she had someone who broke into her home named Eduardo Leon, who was tased and arrested on Thursday morning after Rihanna's assistant found him inside her LA area house. The 26-year-old had somehow disabled her alarm system and entered, where he stayed at least an entire day. Cops say he made himself at home, charging his phone and unpacking his bag like he fucking lived there. They also said that Leon broke into another home on May 4th thinking it was Rihanna's, and that's why he was arrested for stalking. He was also booked for residential burglary and trespassing. He wasn't in LA. Well, she wasn't in LA when he broke in. Well, obviously she was in New York because she was at the Met Gala, and he's being held on $150,000 bail. Yeah, she's been in New York all week. Like, she was at the Met Gala. She's promoting Fenty Beauty. Like, she's been doing a lot of stuff. But also that they said that he broke in the house because he was waiting for her to come home to have sex with her. So this is my thought on this whole thing. This shit is getting scary because I've been hearing way too many stories about people in LA who are getting their houses broken into, that jewelry's been getting stolen. Like, we had Kyle Richards from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, moved into her new home and then had all her purses and jewelry and shit stolen. So I'm starting to wonder, okay, that had to be an inside job because you knew exactly where to fucking go in a woman's closet to get all her shit, her sentimental shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if Paris Hilton's mother did it, because, you know, Kyle and Kathy, who are sisters, have been kind of butting heads, and Kathy has been seeming like a hating ass bitch on a lot of levels if you kind of pay attention and watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, where she's been hating on her sister because she has 2 shows coming out that she feels resembles a lot of what's going on in their personal life. So my thing is this: if I was at and when I get to a position when I get Rihanna's money, or I have like the ability to buy a mansion, I don't think I would buy a mansion. Because this is what I'd be afraid. Exactly. Where the hell is the security? How do you have a big house like that? You don't have security. You're thinking of an alarm. Jesus, I'm feeling gassy today. It's like, having an alarm and thinking that that's going to be enough to protect you from someone. This is why people should own guns. Or maybe this is why I said, like, for me, I would live somewhere where I live in a condo with a doorman. I am not living somewhere where I have a big ass house for myself and then anybody could just walk up on my property and then, you know, any kind of crazy shit can happen. I need to live somewhere where I feel like I'm safe. So if I'm in a position where I'm a public figure and I'm making the type of money that Rihanna or any kind of famous person is making, I think if I stay in New York, I am not living in my own house. If I want to have a house to, like, first of all, living in a house in New York is totally, in my opinion, unnecessary. Because, first of all, the upkeep and all this stuff is really hard. And especially, like, in the summertime, 3 months out of the year, if you have a pool or whatever, that's the only time you can use a pool or whatever the case is. So to me, an apartment complex is way better, in my opinion, because it's like you have your own private elevator that takes you up to your place. You have like maybe a whole floor to yourself that's like soundproof, so I can blast my music and have parties and orgies and do whatever the hell it is I want to have in my own house, and not have to worry about the upkeep, meaning I gotta pay somebody to mow my lawn or keep it up and nice or whatever, or put the seeds down or any kind of or keep up with the pool and stuff. And so, like, you have your own shit. So to me, I would rather have a doorman that and full on security where you gotta call me on the phone to ask, oh, so and so's at the front, should I let them in? And be like, I'm not home, or yeah, sure, let them up. That would have to be me. Like, I can't let just anybody be wrong, because I don't want situations like what happened to Rihanna. Like, some crazy person learns how to disable your alarm and waiting for you to come home to have sex with you. And all of a sudden, the girl's been raped and murdered. Like, all kinds of crazy shit be happening out in these streets. And it seems like in Hollywood, the way those houses are set up, it's just crazy. The lack of security that these people are having. And y'all got all kinds of money. So, like, stop being so goddamn cheap and, you know, get you some security intel. Speaking of sex and crazy and all kinds of shit that's going on, I got a revenge porn story that I want to tell about. Tierra Marie from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I'm starting to think this following story, I feel like may be cooked up for a storyline that she may want to use, but let's just go along with it for shits and giggles. So apparently Tierra Marie pulled the Jasmine Sullivan and decided to take a metal pole to her boyfriend's car windows after accusing him of leaking their sex clip. So, apparently she said her Instagram was hacked, and 50 Cent's gay ass decided to post the video on his Instagram, talking about, since I can't post stuff on my own Instagram, I'm going to put it to Twitter. And I'm sitting there like, well, since when, dumb Negro, have you even known that you could post porn on Instagram and think that Instagram allows that? They don't. You can post ass pictures. You can post your ass on Instagram. I've seen enough of those on there to know. You cannot post your ass. You cannot post your dick. You cannot post people having sex. You cannot post any of that stuff. That's why a lot of my friends have OnlyFans pages. That's a whole nother story. But so according to TMZ, Tiara's boyfriend Akbar Abdul Ahad. So that's what your problem is. You messing with them goddamn Islamic motherfuckers. That's why that's your first goddamn mistake. No shade to people from Islam. Like one of my best friends. One of my best friends is actually Muslim, so I don't want to sit there and go, but I would say that's the first guy, because a lot of them is fucking crazy and possessive, just like them goddamn Jamaicans too. I know y'all about to get mad when I say that, but that's true. Puerto Rico, well, Latino men are kind of possessive too. I know that also for a fact. Should we just put all men in the one lump of saying that men could be just fucking crazy? But anyway, so he basically said that he was working out his apartment's gym in North Hollywood on Thursday when he got a call from security saying a woman is smashing his G-Wagon windows. And sure enough, AAA says he came upon Tiara Marie just doing exactly that. We're told Tiara was using a metal rod from a bar stool, which she claims she was swinging at his passenger side window and swinging at the passenger side of the best friend's ride. So why not just like no scrubs automatically just popped in my head when I was reading that? But anyway. Based on the photos obtained, of course, by TMZ, looks like someone broke through at least one and was working on the other. AAA says Tiara was accompanied by another Love and Hip Hop star, Milan Christopher, and that they took off when he showed up to confront them. And Akbar hasn't filed a police report yet. So Milan was there along with Tiara, and more than likely looking for a reason to get put back on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. The alleged attack appears to be an action to lewd photos of video of Tiara engaged in sex acts, where it basically showed her sucking dick, basically like what the hell's her goddamn name? Black China. She was sucking that dick like Black China, which means she wasn't doing a good enough damn job. And basically, they showed a video of him skeeting on her face and in her horsehair, too. Mm-hmm. So, I understand, like, you mad about stuff, but to be busting up windows, I don't think that's a good idea. One time I busted up a motherfucker's window, I ended up getting arrested and having to pay a fine. So, Tiara, unless you want to sit and do that shit again, getting arrested for another situation that has to do with a vehicle, because the first time your ass got arrested had to do with, wasn't it an Uber driver that she wound up getting into a situation with? So Tiara, you and vehicles are going to have to kind of disperse, because you seem to be getting into situations with people with men and cars. We're going to have to sort of remove you from that, but soon we're going to have you going by a fucking horse and buggy getting where you need to go. Let's get into America's Next Top Model. So Winnie Harlow, who y'all, I don't know if you know who she is, but she was the model that had the vitiligo that I believe she was on the season of Guys vs. Girls or something like that. But anyway, she was on Cycle 21, so I think that was the season. She went on to become one of the biggest names in her industry. Okay, because, you know, she did like some shit with Beyonce and stuff. But according to the Canadian model, she says the series created by Tyra Banks had little or nothing to do with her success. During an appearance on Watch What Happens Live, a fan asked Harlow how she knew she had made it, and the Toronto native jokingly responded, "I made it," and then went on to say, "ANTM doesn't exactly help most aspiring models reach their goals." And she said, "I really started after the show because that really didn't do anything for my career," which it doesn't do anything for any model's career realistically. A photographer from London hit me up, a major photographer, Nick Knight, who's done stuff like Madonna, Lady Gaga, a whole bunch of people, Bjork. And he was like, "Hey, I've seen your photos online and I want to do a shoot with you." It went viral and I got campaigns from there and it hasn't stopped since. She said, it was really a reality TV show and that's not what I signed up for. And then Andy goes on and says, "It's almost like you made it in spite of the show." And while I do agree sort of with what she's saying, there's other things I don't agree with. For her to say that America's Next Top Model did not help her career, I feel like it's bullshit. First of all, America's Next Top Model, I don't think was created to give you a job at Vogue magazine, like get you the cover of Vogue, or get you the cover of this, or get you the cover of that. That's not what I think America's Next Top Model is for. America's Next Top Model is a show that is created to basically give you a platform to launch your career. It's a launching pad. It's not necessarily supposed to give you a job. I feel like off the strength of America's Next Top Model, you could have been using it as an opportunity to get you an agent, get you a manager, having them put you out there to get whatever you can get your hands on to get your career where it needs to go. So yeah, you took a couple of photos on Instagram and was seen by Nick Knight. He saw those pictures to help you get where you need to go. But what does that say about, I mean, yeah, it's different because you have a couple of people who've gone on to be actors. Yaya's an actor. What's the other one that's on Tyler Perry's show? I think it's In Loving You Is Wrong on one of those shows that he's on. He was one of the male models. Denzel, he's on one of those Tyler Perry shows, which is not saying much because it really don't take much acting to be in a goddamn Tyler Perry production. But I'm just saying, like, you get in where you fit in. You get in where you can and what you can elevate your career at in that time. So you can't necessarily say, like, America's Next Top Model didn't help you. It was a springboard to get you where you need to go. But for you to kind of just diminish what America's Next Top Model is, I feel it's ungrateful. It just makes you sound ungrateful. And let's be clear, from when we watched Winnie on her season, she wasn't the most likable person on there. So for her to kind of put this off and say that, first of all, why was she on Watch What Happens Live again? Because I don't really watch that show anymore. I just see clips online, and it always depends on who's on the show. But I saw he was on there with she was on there with Brad Goreski. But I'm like wondering, why was she? If anybody saw the episode, why was she even on the show to begin with? I mean, what has she done that garnered her the ability to be sitting on the couch? I mean, sitting in the clubhouse with Andy Cohen, because Andy Cohen don't put everybody on there. Like, I don't understand how a gay man don't even put, like, gay people on. Well, he puts gay people on there, but I'm talking about, like, some of the girls from RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, the closest they get is to the damn bar, which I guess is cute, but they don't really get to, like, promote themselves through the show or in that way, except for maybe 3 seconds when he gives them a shout out. So let's give it. I want to talk about this because there was a situation that happened. Was it last month when they had Miami Pride? And it was like a couple got bashed, and there was like 4 guys who had turned themselves in. So now I have an update on that. 4 the guys who assaulted and allegedly used anti-gay slurs at 2 men following. Oh, okay, it was last month's Miami Pride Festival. Face a potential maximum of 30 years in jail. And that's each and every one of them. They're about to go to jail for 30 years. Prosecutors added hate crime charges to the aggravated battery charges the 4 were already facing. If found guilty, this raises the maximum jail time from 15 years to 30 years and takes the charge from second degree to first degree felony. Renee Shalarka and his boyfriend Dmitry Luganov were walking home from Pride festivities on the second weekend in April when they say they were attacked. They were holding hands when the men confronted them. Shalarka and Luganov suffered numerous cuts and bruises. Another man, Helmut Muller, became unconscious when he struck his head after intervening. So a guy tried to intervene but was hit. On that, I want to say I'm kind of glad these guys are getting what's coming to them. But 30 years, and this is like a first-time offense, do you really think that's a bit extreme? I mean, I don't want to sit and put like levels on things or whatever. I don't know, I'm asking. I just feel like, is it extreme if a guy who commits a hate crime gets 30 years for hitting a man for being gay? Is that logical? Is that a logical thing to do, to put someone in jail for 30 years? To me, I feel like an offense like that should be 10 years. I think 30 years is too much. That's literally like these guys in their early 20s. So they're not getting out of jail until they're in their 50s. You're literally going to be spending half of your life in prison. So, I don't know. I just feel like 30 years is a bit much. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, you hit someone because they're gay or they're black or whatever the case is. Any kind of people you hit that are not economic, but socially considered socially oppressed, I believe you should go to jail for any kind of hate crime. But to be for 30 years, I just feel like it's a bit extreme. I think it's a lot. So there's I want to also give a shout out to, I heard Kevin McHale from Glee came out of the closet officially. So congratulations to him. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I just want to say congratulations to him. So there's a new dating app, and I find this is crazy. A new hookup app that's going to be on the market, and it claims to be far superior to all the others. I think it's called Talmy? I can't even, TALM. I can't even read what the fuck that says. But anyway, it's a stupid fucking app, basically. So we're not even going to give it whatever it is. Was developed by a group of anonymous tech guys from Silicon Valley who set out to create the safest gay dating and social media after allegedly facing unspeakable discrimination at the workplace because of their sexual orientation. So they're being discriminated against, so they feel and this is where discrimination comes from. That's Kevin McHale, who's from Glee. He was the one in the wheelchair with the glasses. He came out as gay, officially. He's always dropped a little subliminal breadcrumbs through for the past year, I believe. He's dating another actor. I forget his name, but I think he's on 13 Reasons Why or something like that. One of those shows. But anyway, so so they said their careers slackened all because of the sexual orientation, the company says in a statement. Thus, they decided to create this site as a tool to strengthen the LGBT community. It's called Taimi, Taimi. It's a play on the words tame me. The company says it wanted to create a tamer dating app centered to gay men looking for more than just meaningless one-night flings. In addition to offering bank-level security, the pop-up reminders about taking PrEP pills, the app also boasts other health-related filters. What other kind of filters, you ask? HIV status, of course. That's right, folks. And in the efforts to strengthen the LGBT plus community, the developers have still managed to find a way to keep people divided by stigmatizing HIV, which is gross. And to me, I feel like this is some bullshit with this app. So and this is why I said bullying begets bullying. Because you are treated a certain way at your job for being gay, your answer to that, instead of just creating your own shit that's going to elevate people, is to create discrimination against your own people. So to me, to them, that makes sense. So hurt people hurting people. So you're going to discriminate against people who have HIV, who are positive, because I don't know why. To me, it's just ridiculous. And we got enough fucking apps out here, as it is, in regards of dating. Even Facebook's trying to jump on the bandwagon with that. And what I find odd about the dating app for Facebook, this is what I want to know. Now, is this only inclusive to straight people on Facebook? Because we know how Facebook treats the LGBT plus community on their website. You write anything. Like I had friends, like I said last week, I have friends who were blocked. A friend who was blocked on Facebook, 2 of them, for individual reasons. One was blocked for a month for talking about him fisting his boyfriend or whatever. So they're into fisting, whatever the case. If that's what you do, you float your boat. Congratulations. Hooray for you. I pray for your insides and everything else that they're still intact. But he said something about that, got him blocked. Another friend who is in the adult entertainment industry asked a question about, do you prefer using condoms or do you prefer to bareback? And he got blocked. So this thing where people are sitting around just like spending energy into reporting what people write on their pages because you don't like the narrative or you don't like the questions being asked, I feel like it's childish and it's bullshit. If you don't like people or what they're about on their page or what they stand for, what they write, remove them. It is that simple. If you don't like what people say on their own page, don't be friends with them. And on top of that, here's what you do also. If you no longer want to be friends with that person, so you don't make the mistake and add them again because they got a new picture up and, ooh, they look cute today, so let me re-add them back after you remove them, maybe a couple of months or a year ago. block their ass afterwards, so you don't have to be reminded about this person popping up in your friends you may know list or people you may know list, whatever the fuck it's called. So I don't understand, like, people who put all this energy into discriminating against other people because you don't like what they're about. If you don't want to be with a guy who's HIV positive, don't fuck with a guy who's HIV positive. I think people need to get more educated in the stigma, you know, what HIV is all about and stigma. Once upon a time, that was me, even though I worked for an organization that helped people who are infected or affected by HIV and AIDS. I've had sex with guys who were HIV positive and undetectable, but I didn't know, like, the whole aesthetic of that until I started to educate myself more about it. And once I got educated about it is when I started to broaden up my mind, I changed my idea on things, and I became a more mature human being in regards of sex and that sort of thing. And learning about PrEP and having to deal with a doctor who refused to give me PrEP, who wound up saying, well, maybe you should just use condoms. Excuse me, bitch? Like, don't tell me what I should be using when I'm asking you, can you subscribe me to or give me a referral to a doctor who specializes in HIV stuff, meaning so that way I can get PrEP. Because a regular doctor, apparently, from what I was told, can't give it to you. I had to get a referral to talk to someone or get to get the pills subscribed to me. I had to go through a whole channel of getting it, of getting the PrEP pills, so that way if I wanted to have sex and those other stuff without condoms, whatever, this is what you use and that sort of thing, and HIV prevention, that sort of thing. So this app is stupid, and I won't be subjecting myself to it or giving it any more energy. So before we go, I wanted to point out the 6th worst states for gay and lesbian couples. So more and more Americans, of course, as we are favoring same-sex marriages, upwards of 61% in 2017. There are places, especially namely in the South, that does not support same-sex relationships. So the 2017 American Values Atlas from the nonprofit Nonpartisan Public Religion Research Institute, say that 10 times fast, notes that much of the increased support has come in the last 5 years, timed with the 2015 state Supreme Court decision that granted the constitutional right. So let's get to... So the strength of support of same-sex marriage has increased dramatically over the past decade, while strength of opposition has fallen in nearly equal measure, the survey report said. Which states show the least support for LGBTQ couples, you ask? 6 of them show less than 50%. These places, first of all, I've never even thought about going to, but here we go. So, Alabama, 41%. Come on now. Like, who's going to fucking Alabama? Mississippi, 42%, of course, the Bible Belt. Tennessee, 46%. West Virginia, 48%. Louisiana, 48%. I have family that lives in Louisiana. But I wonder if they incorporate New Orleans. And I'm thinking New Orleans is probably a more liberal place to kind of go. And North Carolina at 49%. So, I'm not surprised by this at all. 3 more southern states have a slim majority in support of same-sex marriages, which is surprising to me. Kentucky at 51%, and Arkansas and Georgia both holding at 52%. In sharp contrast, northeastern states, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island exceeded 70% in support. So if there's places you want to go move and be a big old queen, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island, Arkansas, Georgia, and Kentucky. I guess certain parts of Georgia, because I remember hearing at one point that they said in Georgia that there was an issue where they were trying to, I guess, do some kind of negativity towards same-sex relationships, and Disney threatened to pull out their studios in Georgia because, you know, they shoot a lot of the movies down there. Black Panther was shot in Georgia. Infinity War was shot in Georgia. Like, a lot of stuff is really shot down in Georgia. And a lot of people think, like, oh, they go to fucking... you know, what do you call it? Like the UK or Toronto or something like that. No, Georgia, they got a big ass studio down there and they shoot a lot of those big Marvel movies. So I say all this to say, like, they threatened to move out, and I mean they threatened to pull out, and then Georgia, I guess, changed their mind. So I feel bad for the people who are LGBTQ and in Alabama. So which I find also weird because American Muslims at 51% support same-sex marriage at a higher rate than Alabamians do. And that's supposed to be the Bible Belt. So how is it that people who are Muslims support more than Christians. Like, I just don't understand that. And that's why them saltines be trying to pull that narrative that brown folk or whatever. Okay, gotta go. Thank you for all for listening. Tune in the same time next week on alldigitalradio.com. Love you all. Ciao, lovers. I realized I was going over. It's 4 o'clock. Thank you all, of course, for listening over on the Facebook side. I'm going to be posting this up on Facebook Live and all that good stuff. So, love you all for Ooh, I can't be taking my audio. Oh, sorry, I couldn't be taking my audio off mute. But anyway, love you all, everybody who was watching and listening. Bye!